Black stories are finally emerging as valuable to audiences. And these are not stories that are translated by white people or any people outside of the diaspora or the culture. Stories are finally being told about Black people, by Black people, and are being seen by everyone the world over. What if we had a group of creative Black people sitting in a room trying to figure out how to tell stories? Like, what are the results of that? And that was kind of the seed around which this program developed. I wanted to tell stories with and about sort of Black people and Black culture and Black identity. And I wanted to do it here in Portland, of all places. I have a desire to tell stories about this place that haven't been told before.
I mean, as far as like telling more interesting stories about Black women, I mean, I think it's happening already. Like, there's so many exciting new filmmakers coming out, and they're doing amazing work. And I think the difference is having Black women in positions of power to make decisions about who gets green-lighted and what stories get told and what gets aired. I mean, it's that simple. If you don't have to ask for permission, or if you don't have to work as hard to just be heard.
People just talk about how white Portland is, and that's not my current experience. That's not the experience I want to have. So I intentionally work with a lot of Black and brown people to have a different life and show that there is culture here and it's important and representation matters.
I guess when I was a kid, I used to watch TV shows and I would see actors doing something and I would be curious about, like, if I was the director telling them to do something and how I would tell them. So having that opportunity to write a script and then direct it and get a group of actors to act out your words and act out your vision in your head, I think that's a pretty awesome experience.
We all have visions and dreams, but you still got to pay bills. And so just managing time is really important. I really didn't get into film too heavy until I moved to Portland. And this particular program is providing access to industry quality equipment and resources. And that's something that, you know, traditionally as Black and brown people, we just did not have access to.
I think it's important for people to have a space, especially Black people, people of color. I think it's important for them to have a space. And I think a lot of the fellowship isn't really just about filmmaking or being creative. It's just about being in a space with people that you can relate to.
So right now my creative focus is in telling stories for people who don't have the resources or the skills to do it justice. They have, you know, the resources that they've scraped up from their hard, passionate work. And so I want to do that justice so that we all benefit in the future.
I mean, be it teaching or doing workshops at the library or whatever, working with youth is what I do. And, you know, if there is a community issue and it's keeping me up or whatever, you know, one of the multiple art forms that I do are the ways that I get at that. For me, I've always been a one-man band, you know, and having an opportunity as far as working with people that you can trust to do things and actually being around people who are better at things than me has really helped me out a lot. It allows me to move much faster. That is satisfaction. That is success for me, is to create these forms of art on my own terms and finish them and hopefully keep growing.
There's a lot of obstacles that stand in the way of this fellowship and of programs like this, which I don't think that there are. I mean, this is the first of its kind. I want this fellowship to last as long as it can. I want it to be a signpost in the road for other organizations that are looking to support storytelling and people of color in communities where their voices aren't heard. And so I think growing the number of people who are facile in these technologies and with these tools will enable us to tell stories, to tell the truth about our communities, not just here in Portland, but all over the country and all over the world. And I would like to think, I'd like to hope that fellowship programs like this will help inspire that throughout the world.